Okay, we're going to continue on with the disassembly of the old piece. This one's not in too bad a shape, but it doesn't really matter. Mark up everything here. Just put some marks on here, front and back, so you can tell this side from the other side, because this piece here is a mirror image, so you got to get them in the right spot. I've marked it front towards the front of the trailer and rear towards the rear of the trailer. So the first step is to actually remove this rivet in here. It's a steel rivet, so we're going to remove it. Now you can't cut it in here, there's not enough room, but what we're going to try and do is cut the head off on the inside here next to this other post. Okay, so you've got your saber saw. There's probably just enough room. You're gonna have to hold on tight, make sure this is in a nice strong vise or clamp to a table, and you're really gonna have, it's gonna jump all over, so be careful. Okay, so it's that easy, all right? If you hold tight. If you don't hold tight, it's gonna jump around. Okay, the next thing is we wanna get this guy out of here, all right? So we're gonna get needle nose pliers. All right, hopefully the camera's not in the way here, but we're gonna see. And I gotta do this with my left hand, which I'm not used to, but we'll see. So what I'm doing is I've got some needle nose pliers. I'm just gonna hold on real tight and then smack that, and then there comes your rivet. So that's now disassembled, okay? So what we can do is we can come over here, pull this out, and that is that piece removed. Okay, after we have this part removed, we have to cut out the other rivet. Doesn't really matter how you get at it, just as long as you can hold it tight somehow. I'm gonna try it this way, see if this works. Once again, it's gonna jump around, so take it easy. Okay, that was pretty good. That's not too bad. Once again, there's our rivet. This piece is out, and there is the piece left over. Okay, the next step is to cut off the end of the post. This one isn't too bad, but I'm going to replace it with the solid one because we have them. This was the other side, and you can see it was pretty heavily damaged. So that on the rear side, it was pretty bad. Usually, what I'll do is I'll also draw just a little angle so I know how to get this back in the right position, and then just a line showing where that angle cut is. All right. So I'm going to use a power saw, but you can use whatever you've got. Okay, you might even be able to use that saber saw or just a regular hacksaw. Okay. Okay, so that's cut off. Okay, now. Okay, after you got this thing cut, you got to make sure that you've deburred this thing, okay? Because there's going to be a burr in here, and that's going to affect the next assembly. So I've got a little deburring tool. If you don't have that, file the outside, then maybe take a round file and just go in here and clean that up as best you can. You got to make sure that there's no burr in there. The other thing is, if you do use a pipe cutter to cut this, it's going to compress the tube, so you're really going to have to work hard at making sure that this diameter is nice and smooth all the way out. So I think maybe just a standard hacksaw or a power hacksaw like I use is your best bet. So the next step is going to be installing the aluminum end. Now the aluminum end, it's a press fit. It does have a slight taper to it, so you can see it starts in there pretty good. Okay, hopefully you've marked which area the angle goes to. I have also put a line here so I can see it's facing this direction. It really doesn't matter so much, except for all these holes will be in the same place that they were before. Okay, so you're going to need a block of wood. Put a piece of wood on the floor. and you'll need a hammer. Now, I've got a rubber hammer. If you don't have that, if all you've got is a standard hammer, just put a piece of wood in there, maybe get a couple people to help hold that on for you, okay? But we don't want to bark the end up. So put this on the end of a piece of wood, smack that guy in there, and that's not going to come out. That's about half thou press, okay? So it should go together pretty easy. Okay, we're ready to do the next step. We've got the new end piece on. This is our old piece we're replacing. This is the new heavier aluminum piece. You'll see that there is a front and rear side. This is the new one. You can see this angle's here. On the other side, for the rear, the angle's on the opposite side. Other than that, they're identical. So we've got this piece here we're going to be replacing. We have two flat washers we're going to use, and we have 2 rivets for each side. Okay, so there's 4 of these and 4 of these. One of the rivets is actually a little bit longer. Okay, so this one's an inch, this is an inch and a quarter. All right, we're going to start out with the inch and a quarter rivet, and we're going to be putting this guy in place into this side over here. You're going to need your pop rivet gun, and the pop rivet gun needs a 3/16 end. Most of these guns will have oh yeah, here it is. Have another adapter. This is for an 1/8. This is for 3/16. So you'll need to put that in place. Okay, let's do that. All right, so we take this guy. We've labeled it front. Here's our front label over here. So we know it goes in this direction. It's kind of a snug fit. So we put that in, and then we take the longer of the 2 rivets. This is the inch and a quarter one. We're gonna try and line that up. Oh, you have to pull. You have to pull that crossbar out. Okay. That way the rivet will clear. So you got to pull this out. Forgot about that. Okay, so now it goes in nice and easy. All right. So we're going to take our pop rivet gun. You got to slide that guy on here. And this pop rivet gun's 30 years old, so it's not in great shape. But we'll see if we can make it work. So we're going to once. This was easier when I was younger. All right, so that's tough. It's tight, but you're going to have a lot of leverage with the pole, so don't worry so much about that. Okay, so that's that piece there. Now we got to install this guy here. And this piece is going to go in here. Now what I want to do, it has to be able to bend this way, so you got to make sure that this angle's up. If you put it this way, it's going to bind. So this is the direction it's going to be, and this is the tricky part. This is the hardest part about the whole assembly. You're going to put this guy in from this way here. We want the finished rivet to be on the outside of the trailer, so it's not interfering with the other channel. And I'm going to put these little lock washer there. We're going to put that guy there. Okay, now here's the tricky part. I got to get this other washer down inside. Put the nice shiny edge out. What I just use, I use an awl or something to kind of worry that in there like that. Okay, so that is what that looks like. So now you can see I've got the rivets coming in from this side here, because this is going to fold over and we don't want any interference. We've got the 2 washers, okay, for spacers, and that keeps this thing located in the center, and this is running through. Okay, so then like before, we're going to rivet that. Okay, we got our rivet gun. We're going to push that up nice and tight. And here you'll be able to actually see the rivet expanding on the far side. Well, you can't in the camera, but I can see it. Okay, and once again, and you have to do that. Okay, so there you go. Now we can see that works nice and easy. Okay, works nice and smooth. Okay, and we're going to close it down, and that works perfect. Okay, almost done. One more step. Okay, I'm going to put the upright posts back together. Okay, so this is our vertical post, and now we'll see that when I actually go to close that, there's interference here, and that's because we have cut a little bit off the other end, and the plug is actually interfering with this post. So the only way around that, if you take this cap off, you're going to see another one of these rubber balls. Okay, this would be if it was going down to the bottom of the trailer rather than sitting on the ground. Now, I don't use mine that way, and I don't think anybody else does. But if you do, you'll just have to take this off, cut off 3/4 inch, and stick it back on. I'm just going to pull it off and pitch it. Okay, so let me do that to get a wrench. Now, I just took this off, but the easiest way to get this out is get just a pair of pliers like this, and then hit it with a hammer like we did the rivets, and it'll pop right out of there. So like I say, if you do use that, cut 3/4 inch off this thing and stuff it back in, and it'll work fine. However, if you don't use it like I do, just take the thing out, put your rubber foot back on, and there you go. Everything is installed. So that's how you go about installing the kit. Once again, the tools you're going to need, a couple pair of pliers and a hammer. You'll need a saber saw, and you'll need a pop rivet gun. The saber saw and the pop rivet gun are really the only kind of special tools that you need. So that's it. I got a few days ahead of me here. I got to finish up making all the kits, but we're going to try and get those out in short fashion here. If you have any questions, you guys all have my email, and you know where I'm at on Messenger and on the group and that, so you can always ask me any questions. If you are near Michigan, I'd be more than happy to install your kit for you. If you can just get over to our place here in Michigan, and I'll do it for you. So anyway, stay tuned. Bye. Okay, this is something that may or may not be necessary, kind of an option. If this press fit is not as tight as if it's not real tight, I've included some 1/8 rivets. Just drill a 1/8 hole, take a 1/8 rivet, and put it in that guy right there. And now that is completely secure. I'm not sure I'm going to bother with that, but I'm going to include the 1/8 rivets. It's real simple job. You got the pop rivet gun. And that way, this guy here is going to be completely tight. So, there you go.
Turn around when possible.